Hey there, Chef Shelley here. Now, if you've been with me for any amount of time, watched any of my videos, read any of my blog posts, you know, my favorite thing to do in my personal chef business is weekly meal service clients. I want those regular clients week after week after week on my schedule that I cook a few dinners at a time for. But I have to admit, when I first started my personal chef business, I did all the things. I did cocktail parties and cooking lessons and cooking demos and small, intimate boutique style catering too. And one of the easiest things to do when you are just starting out, and it might even be a great way to get your first weekly meal service client, is the romantic dinner party for two. Now, the reason that this actually can be a great place to start is because it's really doable for you when you're starting out to do a 3-course or maybe even 4-course dinner just for 2 people in their home. You don't get overwhelmed with the menu or the quantities or even the pricing. So it really can be a great place to start, especially if you actually want to have small caterings be one of the services that you're going to offer in your personal chef business. But now again, even if you don't want to have a focus on small catering, offering, a dinner party or two can be a great way to get your foot in the door with prospective clients. So it still might be something that you might want to consider offering, even if, as far as you consider, it's just a marketing tool. So of course, the first thing you want to do, especially if you are using it for marketing, is to come up with some menus. Now, this is really one of the things that we focus on in the training in the Personal Chef Master Course, is just really dialing in that specialty. Even if you think it's just regular old American comfort food, it really doesn't matter what it is. It just matters that you be able to explain it in a super clear and delicious way, and also that you have a good recipe library set up that's in that same specialty. So whatever your specialty is, you want to put together a few menus that really showcase it. You want to have menus that are going to give people a taste of what it would be like to have your food on a regular basis. Now, of course, when people are getting a romantic dinner for 2 for a special occasion, probably like a birthday or an anniversary, it might not be the regular food that they're getting all the time. But what I mean is, if your specialty is that, good old American comfort food, you're probably not going to be wanting to offer an entree that has like an elderflower foam over a Wagyu bone broth pearl over eel poke bowl. Okay, maybe no one would ever do that menu or that dish at all that I just made up, but you know what I mean. Even if you're capable of preparing the food, it's not going to serve you to highlight something that you wouldn't want to do as part of your regular cooking specialty. So let's use a steak dinner as an example. If your specialty is that all-American good old comfort food and you're thinking, what would someone want to eat on a special birthday or anniversary dinner? You're probably going to be thinking about things like filet mignon, garlic mashed potatoes, buttered green beans, right? If you're a little bit more on the fancy gourmet side, you might be thinking a prime Wagyu hanger steak, prepared sous vide and then seared, maybe served with duck fat fried fingerling potatoes and sauteed forest mushrooms. Maybe if you have a southern specialty, you're thinking more coffee rubbed cowboy ribeye, corn fritters, garlic roasted okra. Or, maybe you even want to just go all in and have, a duck entree or a lamb entree. Again, if you're vegetarian, you might want to showcase something you're really into, whether it's scratch-made pasta or your special cashew cheese-filled ravioli that you make. So regardless, once you've got those entrees decided that are in your specialty, you'll want to decide how many courses would you want to do and choose those two. And the easiest place to start there is just with a super salad, then you have your entree, and then you have dessert. Now, if you're really confident, you can do a soup and a salad, because we all know salad's probably not going to kill you, right? And if you really want to kick it up a notch, maybe add a starter too. So let's do some examples. Let's just do a 3-course. Good old American comfort food is the specialty. You want to do a steak as your entree. What do you want to do for sides? You know, you're probably going to want to do a potato and a veg. So think about what kind of salad kind of goes with that specialty. Probably something like a blue cheese wedge, spring greens, candied pecans and apple, or maybe a spinach salad with a warm bacon dressing, right? You know, dessert, you can always stick with classics like a molten lava cake or a flourless chocolate torte or cheesecake. And then again, if you're wanting to do something a little more elevated, maybe do something like salted caramel profiteroles, you know. If you really know what you're doing, a dessert prepared tableside could be a fantastic way to showcase yourself, like maybe Cherry's Jubilee or Bananas Foster. Those are really older classic desserts, but it's really easy to give them a little modern twist or just to describe it in a more updated kind of way. But if you're gonna do something like a flambéed dessert, please make sure you're comfortable with fire and that your liability insurance is up to date. Regardless of that, so if you're going to do something like, maybe you also want to put together like an Italian menu or a French menu or anything, you would just want to keep all your courses and all your sides just aligned with it. So remember, you're probably going to be preparing this in their home, so you don't want to plan a dessert or any component that you're gonna like need to run a KitchenAid mixer for 10 minutes, because that would just make the experience not very enjoyable for your client. Unless they express to you up front that they want something in particular and they want to watch you prepare it. Maybe they're not gonna be in the dining room at the table having a romantic, intimate dinner. Maybe they're going to be sitting at the kitchen counter just watching you glued, just loving every minute of it. So anyway, once you set up a few of these menus, you can easily work out the quantities to make up a shopping list. And you can cost out the groceries and you can kind of decide on your pricing. For something like this, it'll really just make it easier on the customer if you set up some of these menus with just a flat rate price, because you know how much the groceries are going to be, you know how long it's going to take you. But if the client has their own menu and they want to go really, off track from anything you already have set up, you can always then just switch to your rate plus the groceries. Now, regardless, again, you need to know your end game. You're probably not going to get rich, honestly, off of dinners for two, especially since they're all going to want Saturday night and there are only 4 or 5 of those in a month. And you really can't justify charging like the same rate for that as you do for weekly meal service. But that being said, these dinners for two can be a great marketing tool for you, and it's going to help you get experience and exposure when you're starting your personal chef business. So put a few menus together that fit into your specialty, get in some practice, make one for you and your own date, and take some pictures to use in your marketing. Start telling people about it. Put it out there on the social medias. You might just find you've cooked yourself into your first or next weekly meal service client. And if weekly meal service clients are really what you want to focus on, be sure to click the link by this video and download my free guide that walks you through exactly how to prepare one, just like you would for a paying client. You can get your practice in, pick up a few things, and decide if that's really the direction you want to go with your personal chef business. Because I'm telling you, the clients are out there and they are hungry for what you're cooking.